Scott Brown here. In today's exciting episode we use the new Milwaukee framing gun and we pack this floor. I've had this for a couple of weeks and now we're finally framing so I can use it. Boom. Well, there we have it, the new Milwaukee framer. Damn. Shout out to Milwaukee, New Zealand for letting me keep this. And now we get to see how it compares to the Hikoki, which I've been using quite a lot. Let's plug the battery in, shall we? So this is my first 18-volt Milwaukee tool. So they had to send me some batteries as well. There we go. Oh, look at the rafter hook on that. That's massive. Turn the button on the back there. I guess it's ready to go. This may be a tough first test, but treated timber. What a treat. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Damn. It has the power. Yeah. I like it. Here's the Hikoki, and you can see it's a bit more compact. Yeah, they've managed to make it more compact. Weight-wise, I don't know, they're about the same. So these are superficial ways to look at a nail gun, but that's all we know so far. The tips too are quite a hit on it compared to that one. It's a lot smaller. One problem we've had with the Hikoki is that it slips when you're trying to nail on a skew. So let's see how this does in comparison. So what do you reckon, Scott? First impressions, it's just as heavy, and the hook system is really cool. You got one hook on this side that does the rafter hook. It's much bigger, and then that hook there fits nicely on your belt. The angle, the skew, is better than the Hikoki. It's a bit wider, and maybe that's what's doing it. Maybe that's got a bit more grip. So far, so good. So that pink core of nogs is the new wall line.
And that packer there's level with the framing over there.
We're having to pack this deck frame up to make it a interior floor frame.
Now these match up with the flooring in there.
Alright, we'll chuck this window in, secure the site.
This thing has spent just hours chiseling away at rocks, man. And what it was like, it was like 100 and like it was nothing.
Yeah. 150 bucks probably?
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
I used
like,
to have the same drill.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 150 bucks.
Does it
spit like
yeah? Does it spit rock at you?
No. Oh. Yeah, it
like
spit
from the
like,
fan or
like from
Out
the
of
fan,
there.
eh? Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Man, for 150
Still
bucks,
going.
can't go wrong.
You're hard.
So last week I think I got very excited about doing the flooring, and I forgot that we're putting this cutout here for the window, so the window can kind of drop down, because it needs a aluminium sill tray underneath. And I'll explain what that is when we go to put the window in, but for now I just have to cut the floor out. So what, I don't miss the pasto very often, but when I'm doing things like that, I do. It's heavy.
When you ready, mate?
Sweet.
Very good framing hammer, I think. The weight of it sort of does the work. You know how a lot of these guns, when you put it on an angle, it doesn't fire sometimes?
Yeah.
This fires every time. And it feels like you got to be careful. Like you could slip and it'll still fire. That's one thing we should point out in New Zealand, we're not allowed bump fire, which is when you go dang, 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 dang. It's a technical explanation of that. So what I just nailed there was the fastest this gun goes. So I think they're the same guns, but they disable that function. Some sort of safety thing, I don't know. But in America, when they use these guns, I've noticed people like RR Buildings using it, he just like, bam it, like almost as quick as you touch the timber, you can nail. We're not allowed that here.
Oh, it's just like chiseling tiny little.
And is it like rocks like this, stones, or?
No, it's just rock.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
The framing here in New Zealand, it's kiln dried, but it's a little bit damp. You know, just the time of year. And the percentage of moisture that you're allowed is 17. Damn, son.
25?
23. 23% that was. Let's try this side, it might be dry. It looks drier. Oh, it's wetter. 28%. And these are only small prongs, the ones that the council use when they come and do the inspections. They like hammer them in and they go in like 20 mil. And it's 28% on the surface. So we're probably going to wrap it even before we finish getting the frame inspected. Wrap it so it has some chance to dry before then. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to have heaters and dehumidifiers in there. Could take a while to dry it out. Oh, might have a slight issue here. There's things on the plans that are different to reality. That isn't completely out of the question with renovations. It's actually normal for renovations that the plans and the reality of the building are quite different because they can't know everything. But I don't know, there's just a few things at once. First thing was this beam here. It's too far out of the wall line. On the drawing it shows it being on the same wall line as the framing that holds these weatherboards up, but it's actually sticking out. See that there? Should be back enough for another weatherboard to go under this one. So you're talking 15 to 20 mil. But the next thing was up in the roof space. We noticed that the roof strut is sitting down on the wall that we're going to take out. This wall here where the window is. But on the plans it shows the roof strut coming out to this wall, the external wall. So that means like engineer, council, you know, changes. And now the other thing is
this height here is like 40 mil.
And on the plans it was meant to be 70 mil. So that means we might have to change the way this deck to floor foundation is. And then on top of that we've got the post situation where 4 out of 5 of the new posts land right where an existing post is. And because of how old the existing posts are, they're not up to the standard that the engineer needs for the new beam. So the renovation is going well if you're wondering. That is. Boom! Wow. So the rock breaking continues. Let me know if you need
I noticed that you haven't come underneath and filmed with me, Scott.
Well, I was just
I got the shot and that was it.
coordinating and liaising.
Liaising.
Yeah, just management stuff, you know.
Visit whenever you like.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, what was that? I can't reach. Oh. Well, since I got the hammer, I may as well just... Trying to get this nice and deep. And then once this way.
And then on the side?
Side first?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then the hook. Oh, I think maybe you have to do the head as well. Boom!
Cheating. Took me a couple of tries, but...
There we go.
No.
There we go. So the Arctic has been and gone, and basically we might have to put another beam in. So the beam that we're putting in place of the chimney, we might have to do exactly the same beam effectively on this wall here that we're going to remove. As soon as we get drawings that say, hey, you're doing this now, that's what we'll do. And the other thing was the deck level. I think he has to change that as well. And again, we just wait. When we get the drawings, we make the changes. Up until then, we leave it. So there you go, guys. That's gonna hopefully stay drier and get that moisture percentage down. But there's still a lot of work to do. Oh, there we go. One of those days, you know, you find the new things when you remove the old things. When the demolition happens, you figure out just how much work there really is. Oh, these speed bumps. Tomorrow, I think all three of us are going to jump underneath the house and yeah, smash those holes out, remove the piles that need to be removed. I have a feeling that they're going to add extra piles and now that they're adding extra beams. Let's try and get through the ones that we've already have to do. See you in the next exciting episode, guys.